Alright, hello. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into this. Level 1 Wretched. What do you want? Haven't done any scripting for this or anything. I'm really new to this whole idea. So, sorry if it's not super professional. Make sure you pick Gold Seed and that you're a wretch. Nothing else really matters. Let's see. So, it's gonna be a level 5 Invader. And the reason we start Wretched over Bandit, the other level 5 starter, because we have a better spread of starting stats, and we can pick and choose what we want to put our points into if we need certain requirements. In this case, for my build, the 4 points are super lenient. I just end up putting 2 in endurance for the gear I want, and then the last 2 in health, because that's the most valuable leftover stat. But early on, we're actually going to be putting 3 points into Arcane and 1 point into FP? Mind, yeah. 3 points Arcane, 1 point into Mind. We'll be getting a really easy to find larval tier to adjust that later. That'll just let us use Rotten Breath really early on to help us choose a bunch of content, which I haven't done before, but I figured I was just looking over stuff that we could do to make this character easier to make. That was an option, so that's cool. And alternatively, you could upgrade this character to level 7, because that would only make you leave the pool of other bandits, which I haven't seen a ton of. On my other, on my actual build level 5 Invader character, I don't see a ton of bandits, but they do come up. You could technically stay at level 1 if you really wanted to, but I feel as though the kind of people who pick a wretch to start the game with aren't the kind of people who are also looking for help in co-op early level. They kind of know what they're getting into. But yeah, so early on, I probably should have routed this before I really jumped right in, but well, first things first, we gotta get the horse. That's kind of important. We need Torrent to do anything. This character will be getting all 4 talisman slots because it was actually a lot easier than I thought to get the 4th slot from Godfrey. I feel like I should have more to say during this kind of downtime. So the first thing we're doing after we get Torrent, we're going to be picking up a bunch of consumable runes and working on getting Radagon's Sword Seal first thing, because that'll help us meet a bunch of stat requirements for gear we want, a bunch of health and endurance, really broken talisman overall. We need the 2 pieces to enter Altus Plateau. Before I get too ahead of myself, I'm going to use this gold rune 2 that we picked up from in front of the church, get 400 runes, and buy the crafting kit right away. I don't think we craft anything important right away, you never know, just in case. Pick up that smithing stone. There's also a lot of smithing stone spots I can help find early on too. At the time being, we don't need FP. Actually, it might be worth keeping 1 flask since we're doing the Scarlet Rot method with the Rotten Breath thing. Yeah, I'll just keep 1 for now. Yeah, so the main thing we're doing right now, getting Torrent. We're gonna go pick up the Morning Star in Weeping Peninsula, and then we're gonna go and kill the dragon in Caelid to get our 4 level ups, and then we're gonna buy a bunch of stuff because by that point we will have the round table unlocked. Then we can go buy out from a ton of the merchants around Limgrave and everywhere else in the starting areas, Stormvale. Also, should have mentioned this earlier, we are in offline mode, mostly because there is a talisman we're going to pick up later that is easier to acquire while we're in offline mode, the Great Jars Arsenal.
They sir, but I can play turning route to 80. You need to the foot. Then it's summon me. Ah, I bequeath.
There's the boy.
Treat him with...
Alright, after we get Torrent, we're gonna head south from here. Pick up the map. Kind of important. Go. Pick up this grace. We're gonna ignore that NPC, pick up the arterial leaf just because it's something to sell. We'll be ignoring the Scarab. Oh yeah, one thing that might be a good idea too is after you finish talking to Melina, you should probably make it morning so you can avoid this guy. Not that he's a problem. It also lets you avoid the bats up here where we get our consumable runes from this graveyard. So here's the graveyard, there's the bats, so roughly around right here. Just southeast of those ruins where the Sorcerer Lady is. Goodness. So we should just be able to get plenty of runes from the bosses that we choose. Buy everything we need. But the consumable runes are mostly just insurance, because you never know. You might need some extra cash flow. Then we're going to pick up this grace over here. We're just headed south to Weeping Peninsula still. Kind of along the road, we just took a few detours to get runes and grace. I think if you just run straight ahead at this, you shouldn't get hit. Oh, kind of. Be careful there. Make sure you get those smithing stones, because it's 3 level 1 smithing stones. That's huge. Stone Sword Key will probably come up. Another grace. And I'm going to ignore Irina. Bye. See, I think that item that they're chewing next to, you can ignore. Morning Star is right in the chest, you don't have to get off the horse to pick it up. And then that one's a gold rune. You can ignore that Scarab. I think it's a bow. Weapon art. Ash of War, my bad. Another grace, and a merchant. And the main thing about this guy is you can buy infinite kukri throwing knives from him. I'm not huge on them just because they have slower, they're just slow. You throw them slower than normal throwing knives. I feel like I prefer the normal throwing knives over them most of the time. That guy's still hanging around. This is nighttime. So let me get the map before I explain further what we're doing here. Alright, there's the map, and then you keep going a bit southwest from that map. You'll find the gold seed up here. There's one gold seed. Just ignoring that archer. Around here, across the road to the east from where we got the gold seed, there should be another scarab. This one we do care about. Oh, it's one of these guys. There we go. Alright, Poison Mist. That'll come up way later. So we're just grabbing it now while we're already down here. And then we're grabbing that smithing stone right there. Then we're headed back to the Grace. There we go, jeez. Just gonna make it morning. Not necessary, I'm just tired of all the nighttime enemies. There we go. So, in Weeping Peninsula, we're gonna be going around up here, and up here, and up here. For 3 Sacred Tears. Upgrade our flask a lot. I think with just those 3 even, we'll have enough bonus on our flasks to heal to full every time. Then we'll need to end up killing the avatar at this Erd Tree later. There is a catacombs around down here, I believe, that you might need if you're gonna use a certain set of weapons instead of what I plan on using. Let me elaborate that more in a second. There's a mine down here if you need more tier 1 smithing stones. Might come up, and then there's the merchant's shack down here. So what I plan on using on this character is the Grave Scythe, or for like our main weapon. Hold the Grave Scythe. I feel like I should explain all this stuff a lot earlier, but not a big deal. Grave Scythe is good because it's a big polearm weapon that has a lot of base damage, lower polarities, which is great on this kind of build since we're not getting a ton of stats anyway. Picking up all this stuff isn't necessary. Other weapons we use are power stanced Antspur Rapiers. Now, issue with that for some people is that you have to drop trade with another character to get a second Antspur Rapier. So getting a second one on another character isn't as much of a problem as it is to maybe find someone to trade them between. I have a few friends that play, so that's not an issue for me. But if that is just strictly not an option you have, my other suggestion would be to use 2 Scimitars, specifically the Scimitars curved swords. They have lower stamina cost per swing than all the other curved swords, and they're also the lightest. And you can get one from the 2-finger merchant husk in the round table, and then another you can farm for in those catacombs underneath the Erd Tree in the Weeping Peninsula. And what I would do to put bleed on them is not the bloody slash you get in Eastern Limgrave. I can show you later, I'll mention it again, but there is a scarab in Altus Plateau that drops, I think it's called Bloodblade or something like that. It has the same, like, it's the weapon art that the Reduvia dagger uses, where you just like shoot a blade beam. It's super low FP cost, and it's a pretty decent ranged option. And with the nerfs to Bloody Slash recently in patch 1.0.3, I would highly prefer the projectile version over just the slash. A lot less end lag. It's very predictable now because people are very acquainted with it. It's really easy to punish because of its end lag. Yeah. Antspurs are also going to be cold. You could put something else on it. I'm not sure what though, because we're going to be using Bloodhound Step, and I haven't looked into how to get any other whetstone blades that let you apply whatever you want without using a specific art. So there's there's 2 of our sacred tears received now. We're going to be moving on to getting our 3rd one from the peninsula. So, back to addressing the 4 talisman slots on this build. I was actually considering using the regen talisman for the 4th slot, since we do get regen on our mixed physic. And at this level, the flat regen is really strong. The 4th talisman slot can really be whatever you want, which is cool. The first 3 are kind of mandatory though. Okay. Now we're just headed down to get the merchant here. Also, another tip later on, if you are strapped for runes, like later into this run, you can dupe one of the bot souls you pick up at that guy just to consume for more runes. Since we're definitely not using any of those items. You could use Renella's hat, but you don't need to use a boss rune for that, never mind. Your build might require her intelligence if you're doing something weird. So this guy has Lantern. I might want that now. Nice quality of life. Lost Ashes of War. We will need one of these later, so that's the main reason why we have this guy. Maybe this done sword keys. That hasn't really come up just because I usually find a lot. And then that's everything here for now. We got our 3 sacred tears. We got this merchant's grace, and then we don't have to, but you might as well. You run up east, roughly, from the merchant. Going right up this hill, and you head to that tower if you want the health regen talisman. Ow. I was hoping he would get knocked off. Yeah, just turn around and block after you open those chests in pretty much any situation where there's enemies. So you don't just die immediately. Because if you die, you just go back to the last grace. You don't get teleported to where you were getting trapped to. Well, I wish getting into Lionel was as easy as that, because you're just kind of stuck up here. And we're just going to ignore this guy. And steal his stuff. So from here, we got the talisman. Not really necessary. You don't have to do that if you don't plan on using it. But from here, we can go back to this grace right here in Limgrave, and then we'll be heading east for Eastern Limgrave. A few things we can grab along the way too. I don't know if that cookbook's important, but it's there. There's another grace down here. And from here, you can drop down safely. And then we'll be running over to this air vent, jumping up. Veer a bit right to just get on the cliff without having to deal with those bears. And then from here, we can get smithing stone, a painting that I'll never complete, and a grace. Let's see, and I think around here roughly, a bit more north, yeah, it's a lot more north from here. So just head east from the shack, following this cliff. I think we want to drop down to somewhere around here, safely. Oh yeah, right here, perfect. I want to get down here. Talk to our good old pal here.
Anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the
See.
great Kenneth Height,
Make sure you're toggled off of your weapon so you can kick him.
and celebrated repudiator of the goodness gracious.
Then his kick that loser off the cliff. And there's another gold seed. Then we're going to wrap up south here to grab another grace. This is the grace I like to invade from if I'm trying to invade an Eastern Limgrave. This is the ideal spot, I think. Then we're going to head back up to where we just kicked that dude off from, and then head back up north a bit because there are 2 grave sites up here we can get a bunch of consumable runes from. One there. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that for each one, you can see perfectly fine. I don't think that's important either, but it's there. I don't do like any crafting on this character, by the way. But I think that goes for a lot of people's playthroughs, to be fair. See, I've jumped down from that side. I don't know if getting up from this side is smart. Probably not, no. We'll just head down instead. Could have routed that a bit better. You could start from this side then, before killing that dude, and then heading along the cliff to pick up both of the, or all the runes at both grave sites. See, take a tier again, and this is gonna be our mixed physic. Let's upgrade our flasks a bit now. So we're at 6 flasks in total now, and I think they're at +4. And I think +4 is more than enough for a full heal anyway, so you don't have to really go out of your way to look for Sacred Tears anymore. We're gonna head up north from the church towards this air vent. Run past the wolves. To another air vent. And we're gonna head towards this little lip right here. And another grave site. See. Might be easier just to jump down from here. We're gonna head towards this air vent so we don't die from fall damage. And then we're gonna go back to the church again, but we're gonna stay in the river. We're gonna head up to this spot just north of the church and the river. This portal is. Head to the Bestial Sanctum. There's a big fella and a Grace. You don't need to talk to him in this playthrough. Ignore the gargoyle. Also ignore the vulgar militia guys. They're a bit spooky. I'm gonna pick up that gold seed. We're going to pick up this Grace next to the bridge. And we're just going to ignore the dragon. He's very polite. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. And easy as that to get past him. We're gonna go directly east off the bridge so we can find another graveyard to get even more consumable runes from. And you might not think this would come up because only leveling to 5. How many runes could you possibly need? But I actually ran out a lot, but I also just buy out everything I see from merchants because if they have a limited stock of anything, I just take it. That's more of my issue. You know, we're gonna want this Grace, and I'm not for sure this will work. Oh, round table time.
Forgive me to determine if you had. It seems
I'm just gonna ignore her for now. I don't need to go there right now. Yeah, we're gonna make it nighttime. So there's a man who spawns on this bridge. There he is. There's Mr. Man. So the way this is supposed to work, you just get his aggro, and then you just run uphill. That's it. If you can, do your best to avoid the spike traps on the ground. It's not imperative that you avoid all of them, but just try your best. We have no armor at the moment, so we're just gonna get poisoned. No big deal. And what's supposed to happen, and it didn't happen, is that he's supposed to just die if you go uphill. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's been like shadow patch or something, but on my other character, on my other level 5, it worked first try. On another character I made, it didn't work. and it also hasn't worked on this character yet, but I'm gonna assume that it just takes multiple tries. So I'm not too concerned about it right now. But that's supposed to be a way you can cheese him. There's also a lot of convoluted ways you can cheese him towards like the south end of the bridge. You can like get him trapped around the roots and stuff, but then you can probably just shoot him with like poison arrows or use rotten breath with a bunch of cerulean flasks. So even if the bridge, like the bridge instant kill thing did get fixed, there's still ways to cheese him. It's just a bit more time consuming. But you kill him for the Bloodhound Step weapon art, which is really important. That art is pretty crazy. But anyway, we're gonna go take that vent up from Lena's Rise, and we're just gonna keep heading south along the road. Ignore this scary avatar. And then we're gonna be wrapping around the Tree to take this vent up. And then we'll end up at the fort here. And we'll want to do this step before we kill the dragon. Mostly because there's more stamina to swing with the mace, the Morning Star. So you're going to just run past all these enemies. Or the bat. Then head straight for the ladder. Just keep climbing. If we get poisoned, that's pretty unlucky because we normally don't get poisoned. There we go. Here's the main reason we're here. Well, not true. We're mainly here for the talisman, but we also need that. Keep to the left right here to get around that blue soldier who appears. Jump down here. Ignore this rat. Pick up the really big rune in case you need it. And ignore these really big rats by rolling down this hole. And then we're going to pick up the Source Seal, and then we're going to swiftly quit the game to de-aggro all of those enemies and reset their spawn locations. And then when you reload, you can just teleport back outside of Fort Faroth. Alternatively, dying might just be faster. The rats will follow you down. But that's how you can get out without dying. And then make sure you equip your Sword Seal with your Morning Star. And now we actually have the stats to one-hand it, which is a lot less stamina per swing than two-handing. So keep that in mind when you beat up this dude's tail. One-handing is less stamina consumption, so you can get more hits in, because the status build-up's all the same. And then this is just time-consuming. A lot of you have probably done this before and don't want to see it, so we'll probably just edit this out. Alright, and he's dead. Yeah, at this point, we're gonna have a lot of runes, so we'll be getting our 4 level ups right now, and we'll be heading to the round table to spend a bunch of this money. Yeah. 3 arcane and 1 mind. We will be level 5 now. And then, then tell her you're off to the round table hold. Hello, Mrs. Lady.
Very well, let my hand.
Cool. See, we can buy 3 of those. If you're not using Antspur Rapiers on this playthrough, this is where you can grab your first Scimitar. We will need the longbow. We will need a finger seal. This one's perfectly fine. And we'll buy all of this armor. These might be nice if you're into doing either of these. And these are also a really funny 4th talisman option, so we'll definitely be grabbing those. And now we actually have armor. And we're still at medium roll. We don't need to talk to any of these people, I'm pretty sure. And we'll be upgrading this to +2, because it's a useful weapon to have for now. Yeah. And instead of doing the 2 mines in Limgrave and in Weeping Peninsula, it might just be easier to get just go right for the bell up in Liurnia, the lakes, because there's a surprising amount of gear we'll be upgrading. For now, I'm going to head to Agheel Lake South in western Limgrave. We'll be heading east from here, going along that road back to Weeping Peninsula, but we'll be taking this lift. Go back up here. I don't think you need to grab that, it's one of those star shards, not important. Yeah. We're gonna drop down to here. Ow. We'll be dropping down onto these. Dropping down here. Towards another graveyard where there are more consumable souls. Or runes. There we go, there's all those. And then Fort Height is just over here where we'll need our second medallion piece for Altus Plateau, so that we can get up there without killing any bosses. And head up to the fort. Another gold seed for more flash charges. We're just gonna ignore these enemies. Here you jump through the gate on your horse so that you can get a bit of a distance inside without getting off first. Just gonna run right up these stairs. Ignoring everything. Alternatively, you could go to a bunch of the merchants before doing this, so you can make sure your runes don't go to waste, but I'm pretty confident we'll be fine. And then from here, you'll be quitting the game after you pick up your medallion, so that you don't have to deal with all the enemies you ran past. Then we can just teleport back to Fort Height West Grace. Let's see, and then there is a merchant just over the hill here. I don't think he has anything in particular that we need. More cookbooks for a weapon. Well, the main thing are these 3 smithing stones. That's worth stopping for. Then if you keep following the road here, we'll find the absolute homie yelling up there. I just want to stop by to clear the house so we can get the best emote for BM. Finger snap is very rude, so there you go. That's the ass slam Ash of War we just passed by that scarab. Then I think up here actually is the mixed physic pieces, ears. The green spill is okay. It's a good filler option for now. Yeah. There's a map. Important. Not important to grab that. Let's see, and from here, I'm gonna spend my runes at a bunch of merchants like I just advised.
This way, Tarnish.
Oh,
May I have a
and also talk to Ronnie finally.
I'd heard tant upon the talk thou art but a call for. I was instructed by torrents. Tis a summon there, the spirits now it is that.
It's easier just to skip through a dialogue instead of walking away from her. But she'll talk to you regardless.
Well, you're
And we'll buy all those, sure, all the cookbooks. Yep. Everything. Buy, not all those yet. We will want, not that many, but we'll want 99 of these for later. And that should be good for that.
goodbye.
And directly south from the church. And fall down onto this cliff. Head down here towards another merchant. See. More of those, another cookbook. This is one of the best small shields for fizz damage reduction. So if you need one of those, here it is. You need a small shield for like a specific Ash of War. I don't think I need any of these, but you never know. And then I'll call that good for here. Next I'll be heading to the gatefront, where we grabbed Torrent initially. And we'll finally be heading up into Stormvale. Ignore that first item on the ground in the middle, it's just a piece of meat. Instead, grab this item right here behind this crossbow guy for another rune. Oh, and another rune right there from that skull. That won't be for everyone. Let's see, we got another gold seed. Ignore these dogs. We'll head up here to grab the stone sword key. Might come up, who knows. Talk to Mrs. Lady.
Only to have it, you know, it's quite a been heading to
Just exhaust her dialogue so we can see her at the round table, which we'll need later.
Can you take and it'll be glad oh, tell them I'm fine again.
Here we go. And then from her we'll be heading east. Fire arrows. Those actually are okay to pick up because we are going to buy those later, so that'll be 5 less we have to buy. And you could kill this guy. Wouldn't do it right now. He's a little tough. But we do have a +2 bleed weapon, so probably would be fine. But if you wanted his armor, it's really heavy. I'm not going to be using any of it, but you can do that. You'll want to do that before going to Volcano Manor later, because then he'll just be there and you can't kill him anymore. But we want this chest to the east of the War Master Shack for the Beast Crest Heater Shield. It's going to be our end-game shield for a few reasons. It's like tied for guard boost in its weight class. Medium shields for 3.5 weight. You don't need him.
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello?
It also has 50 magic resist, which is on the higher end, if not the highest, for its weight class also. And it also looks nice. Easy to pick up. There we go. Make sure you just ignore the pumpkin head and grab the smithing stone.
Oh, Shemite. Are you here as a customer?
The more smithing stones, another cracked pot, another cookbook, more armor.
I'm afraid of.
And at this point, I'm gonna sell all of my crafting materials that are not earthly flowers. If you're summoning friends, you'll want those. If you're not summoning friends, period, then you don't need any of this stuff. Pretty sure I'm not summoning. Well, I'm definitely not summoning anyone for this, but after recording it may or may not come up, who knows. You could do low level host ganking to beat people who are doing builds like this too. Because you might also want to actually build your low level host for that reason, so you're not just default gear with nothing to help yourself with against the Invader, like a lot of them are. So we're gonna wrap around the north side of this big swamp to avoid the boss and grab another smithing stone. And then around the eastern side of these ruins. Oh, there it is. The Turtle Shrine. The Dog Shrine. We're just gonna invade their home and steal their belongings, and then leave. Just a really good talisman. Stamina regen is really broken. That's probably what my 4th talisman is going to be, just because it lets you stay aggressive. There's minor downtimes where you get little bits of stamina regen become a lot more valuable. Really good talisman. Especially for power stancing. If you're power stancing Scimitars instead of Antspur Rapiers, then those are a necessity. And then we're going to avoid the church so that we don't get hit by that Finger Maiden Invader, because there's nothing important in there anyway, it's just some cookbooks. Then I think that's like lightning grease or something, or holy grease. We're just gonna jump right into Caelid here. Ignore that item. One item you might want though is in this south shack right here. 5 items that prevent Scarlet Rot. And then there's nothing important along the way, but like just south over this hill is more consumable runes, but a bit of a detour. Instead, we'll be heading this way. We go up along this hill to avoid those dogs. And here's a grace to grab. Then we're just going to follow along this, right along the cliff, because that'll help us avoid most of these enemies. And also, another grave site with even more consumable runes. Oops. Definitely missed. Do 1 and a 6. And then, we don't need it on this character, but along those routes right there is a cave for the gold talisman. A set of clean rot soldier people are down there. You just have to kill both of them for the gold scarab talisman for more runes. Not important on this guy though. Ignore the dog. Maybe it'll fall, who knows. Another merchant. I don't think we need anything from him, but he has a lot of pretty good stuff, a lot of poison related items. We're just grabbing this grace down here. And then we're just going to keep heading south from here. Another site of grace. We're heading towards that church up there, but we're going to keep to the right so we can avoid waking up a dragon. Oh, we managed to not get his attention. Look out for that guy. All we need is Rotten Breath, nothing else. Yep, eat that dragon heart, weirdo. And then we are leaving. We're heading east from here. The map and merchant are both right there, but if you go south on this fork a little bit, there is another golden seed. This one's really easy to miss. And we don't need anything else from down here, so we're just grabbing this and going back up. Talk to this guy. He does have more good stuff. I don't have any runes to drop right now. I don't really need to use any of my consumables to get them. They're not imperative at the moment. See, the Deathrite bird is awake over there right now because it's nighttime. So that bird you can kill if you want to use Death's Poker instead of the Grave Scythe for like your big weapon, which is a super good weapon. I prefer the Scythe over it for a few reasons. But on a low level, you can climb up, see like that huge figure of the skull's face. Let's see, I can also use this. That figure on the cliff face, like that big skull. You can climb on top of its nose right here, and then you just shoot at the bird, and then if it gets aggressive, you just sneak down into the eye socket here, and then wait until it just goes back down to just standing around waiting. That's all you gotta do. I think the bow already has Mighty Shot, so you just use that. You just stack a bunch of FP flasks and you just Mighty Shot it repeatedly. Even if you have no FP left, Mighty Shot without FP still does more damage than your base bow attack, and it'll take a lot of arrows. Alright, so I think that's all we need from down here, if I remember correctly. So we're going to head back up to the balcony. Let's see, we have a lot of consumable runes right now. We don't need to use any yet. Unequip this bow. Then we're just going to go west from that Grace and probably drop down around here. Yeah. We're going to ignore everything. And head into these catacombs. So the reason why we're in here is for Gravewort, whatever the material you need to upgrade summons. We're gonna upgrade the wolves to +5. That guy should be dead. He follows us down here now. Oh no, he landed on me. So let's see, there is Grave Glovewort 4. Here's Grave Glovewort number 3, and number 5 is right there. And then that's all we needed. We can leave now. That's all the reason we were down there. Grave Glovewort 3, 4, and 5. We're going to run it back out here so that we can fast travel, and we will be going back to Church of Pilgrimage in like the northernmost section of Weeping Peninsula. And from here, we'll be going south. And then right against this cliff wall, next to these big ruins, is the other catacomb entrance. And then Grave Glovewort 1 and 2 are both in here. Also, if you needed your other scimitar, right in that room ahead of this Grace, you need a stone sword key. There's plenty of those you can get by now. See, that first skeleton on that far left has the Grossmesser. That's not what you want. The one right here has the scimitar. You can see it on the ground right there. So, ideally you'd kill these two because they're both gonna... That one will aggro on you first before that one wakes up. You'll kill that one and then just go the rest of the Grace up there. That'll be the way you farm for scimitar. That's the fastest method I know of, at least. I can't really find anything on scimitar farming because people who are looking to use them just start as the class that starts with both of them. But there's also Glovewort 1 and 2. Now we can leave. And from here, we're going to head back to the round table so that we can upgrade the wolves. +5 wolves are probably the highest you need. I don't know if there's an easy 6 to grab, but if there is, it might be worth picking up. The higher you can make them, the better. As just know, it's really easy to get them to +5. All you have to do is go to those 2 places. Oh right, we have to talk to them. Oh, she's not here yet. Okay, we can't upgrade it yet. So, instead, we're going to be going up to where we did meet the lady in the red. I already forget her name. Up in Stormhill. Stormhill Shack. And we're going to run far north. We're going to skip the Stormvale Castle for now and go directly to the lake. Yeah, this is just the shortcut to skip the castle. Nothing much else to say. Pick up that grace, head into this church to get the sacred tear. Ignore that guy. And we could look for the Grave Scythe now. So from that grace we just picked up, you would just drop down here. Kill these 3 skeletons. One of them's right here. Takes 3 swings with a +2 scimitar. And then the other 2 are both right here. And then, it's not a common drop. It might take a while. But that's all you have to do to get the scythe, is that you would just kill those 3. I would fast travel back to that grace and then run back down again. It's not super imperative that we get it right now. The +2 Morningstar is more than capable for most things that we need to do right now. Talk to this merchant. I'm gonna sell some more stuff. We don't need Smithing Stone 2s, so I'm just gonna sell that now. I'm gonna buy a lantern. I want one. Equip that bad boy. Getting this map's a little annoying, because these enemies suck, and picking up things on the horses is kind of also annoying by itself. There we go. We're heading right east after the map to go to these ruins. Avoid the lobster at all costs. They will ruin your day. And then in this building, I believe... Yeah. Hidden staircase. That was close. We're heading down here. Grab... Not that. This. We need that talisman so that we can actually use the Rotten Breath incantation. We have exactly 13 arcane, and that'll put us to the exact 15 faith requirement to use it. So, we can now use Rotten Breath. It might be worth upgrading that Sacred Seal to +2. Just because it's a little bit more damage. Let's see. Here, we'll be going back into the ruins on like the northern side of the ruins. There is a portal here. This will take you to the front gate of the academy. Just a big shortcut. There's a few things we need to get from here. First, we're gonna get this grace because we're gonna be teleporting here a few times. We're going to jump onto this big stone thing. Be careful getting off from here because sometimes it's finicky about registering your landing, and then when you get off, you'll just die from fall damage. It's really weird. More runes. We didn't have enough, right? Well, there's a lot here. There we go. That was a lot. We don't need these, but you could just sell them later. They're worth a decent amount of runes if you need more runes. We're heading northwest from here, just kind of circling around the academy so that we can get the key from the dragon to actually go inside. Or the other items. Grab this and just jump out from top there. And then right north of there is another site of grace. We're gonna jump back to the Lucaria Academy gate. Instead of going west this time, we're gonna head east. You can just double jump off of this balcony right here, and you'll land on the tree to take your fall damage for you. Then right up here, side of this little tower, is another stone sword key. So there's another free one. I don't think we need any more, but I like having them. Makes me happy. And then right south from here, over these ruins, is another gold seed. Let me just keep going east from here. We eventually run into another site of grace and the map. There we go. And then from here, let's see. Going back to the Caria Gate again. And we're just going to go right inside. Ignore that item next to the gate entrance too. It's just a map showing you where the key is. Then we can grab this grace right here. We're gonna go this way, not through the gate right away. There is another gold seed at the end of this bridge. Here we go. And I think we gotta get off the horse for these. We're just gonna walk through to this side. End up over here for another site of grace. We also have the option to jump down from here onto the vent around this area to go to the mine where the infinite tier 1, tier 2 smithing stone bell is. But for now, we're just going to head this way. Keep off the road to the left side of the road if you're headed north from here. There's another church. Another grace. Another sacred tier. I don't know if it's necessary, but you can upgrade it, why not? Another merchant. I don't think this guy has anything important. Quick book or some rune arcs. Nothing particular, no. The magic damage magic damage negation buff items he has might be useful for a few fights that we have planned on this character, but definitely not necessary. Ignore that weirdo. We're only headed this way for another gold seed, then we're going back up to that church we just went through. There's another gold seed down, and then we're just going to pick up this grace right here. I think we need a rest to get those guys aggro off us. And then we're headed back up to the Bellum Church. Careful of the catapults here. Trebuchets. Run past everything. Shouldn't be an issue. So a lot of what we've done so far really is just picking up items and getting graces everywhere, and nothing has really happened yet. That's how a lot of new characters end up going when you know where most of the stuff is. we are. And just skip all these cutscenes. And we're in Altus Plateau. Gonna keep going a bit north. Right in between these forks in the road is a site of grace. Then from here we're gonna head towards that really big staircase. We're gonna follow this left side so we can avoid all the enemies. Actually, never mind, it is easier to go up the stairs, wrapping around first anyway. There's a big rune bear on the left side that can be annoying, and it's a bit slower, but it's technically safer. Just gotta ignore these guys are the main thing. That wasn't too bad. And then the tree sentinels. They are a little spooky. They run up to you, do that big charge thing first, but they don't do anything. Then they're done. So you can just pick up these gold seeds. Hit this map. We're gonna go up the stairs after getting the map and those 2 seeds. And then there's gonna be a big gargoyle that flies down. We're gonna ignore him too. And then up here, there are 2 more gold seeds. Here we go. Then we're gonna just run up along this cliff face here. And then there's another site of grace right here. And then we'll be heading back to the Altus Highway Junction. And then we're going to be running north from here, where another gold seed is. And a map. Gonna get that sign of grace, and then I don't think this guy has anything we need right now. More stone sword keys mainly. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, and before we go any further, I think we're gonna want to double check if we can talk to that lady to upgrade our wolves to +5, because we're gonna want our second talisman slot by now. And she is in fact here.
I never knew, although I'm still looking.
Up our in 12.
to lay out your arm.
Over here we can upgrade our shield to +2. That's the highest it'll ever be upgraded to. I just want to do that now. Then exhaust this dialogue about Rodrika.
That's nothing special. I'm trapped. That's all there is. No great my being despite my deciding.
And so yeah, upgrading the shield to +2 doesn't really give it any more guard boost or anything important, but I've heard that it scales the damage for Carian Retaliation. That's the Ash of War we're going to be applying to the shield. So if it does give it a bit more damage, then no reason not to. It doesn't hurt us to upgrade it twice anyway.
It's all a bit, I'm still looking. Your dad don't believe. If I do, I suppose I'll ask my certainly. I know I can tell.
Then we gotta talk to him again.
No matter. Look, it's absurd. I want to.
There we go. Then you just gotta rest at the table. Run back. And now we can upgrade our stuff.
I have you to I can have Haima's yet. But and if will I serve Godric?
There you go. And upgrading the ashes, upgrading the summons does not affect your matchmaking pool like everything else does, thankfully. Alright, so with those things done, we can probably just go take on Margit now. A +2 bleed weapon. We have +5 dogs, which will be way more than enough to help take him down. I think I normally summon Rajier for this, but I don't think I'm going to this time. I'm going to see if not upgrading his health pool is better or not. The dog should be more than enough of a distraction, which is the main reason why Rajier is there. His damage is kind of irrelevant. Don't need a rest or anything, so we can just go run right in, worrying those guys. That's unfortunate. Also, if you're more intelligent, you could have upgraded your flask before going to this fight. I have room for like maybe 4 more flasks or so with all the gold seeds we picked up by now. Dead? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a bit more passive, I guess. This low of a stamina pool. We don't need our FP flask right now either, but I'm not gonna bother reallocating that. We might want it for later. Enough seeds. Now we have 10 flasks in total at +6. +6 is more than plenty for pirate character forever. Oh, that was stupid. Of me. If you knock him down, make sure you do the front crit. It does more damage than if you just like a back hit. At this point, the dogs should probably just finish him off. Yeah, see, as you can see, the +5 dogs, only one of them was close to dying. and they did a lot of the damage. So there you go. So with this now we can use our Faith Talisman and equip our Rotten Breath. I'm gonna give ourselves 3 flasks just in case. 7 is more than plenty of healing for me. Then we will give ourselves a Finger Seal to inflict Rotten Breath with. And being able to use that will be really, really powerful. That'll make a lot of bosses a lot easier. In fact, I might even try some newer methods now that I have that as an option. From here, you can do a lot of stuff. I kind of want to go get that bell, the Infinite Spinning Stone bell, so that I don't have to go run around between all of the mines to get all the ones you just pick up. They're already +1. Let's do that. Jump off of here. This one's really far down. I'm gonna jump off of this to get over this wall. Oh, you go really high up. Keep following the wall to like the southeast-ish, and you'll eventually run into the cave. This boss, funny enough, can't be Rotten Breath, so good that we picked that up first before doing this. I think I was planning on getting I wanted the Battle Mage stuff at the time of when I got to that point, that part of the plateau. There's 2 Somber Stones up there, 2 and 3. We don't need them. Somber weapons only level up to +1, as far as I know. Steal the guy's stuff just to piss him off. Okay, nothing in here is necessary, so we're just going to keep going. All we want is to kill the boss. Just in case though, I will activate that shortcut up there. Careful with this guy. Okay, thank goodness. Only grab this because it's 3 tier 1 stones. That'll just save some money. And then ignore everything else. Ow. Right in the bottom of the foot. That's gotta suck. We're just gonna take all 4 of those and leave for no reason. And then here's the boss. Really easy. We have our +5 wolves to help too. mean to jump there. You mostly just want to get a stagger on it, because after you stagger the boss, it's way easier. Oh man, I actually died. Alright, let's try this again. So, unlike me, be more careful. Ooh, with both of them. Oh, this thing hits hard. There we go. So now the boss is easy. Fully charged heavy attack helps a lot with getting that stagger off. So now you can just R1 spam on until it's dead. And now we can leave. Okay, so +6 requires 6 smithing rune stones. Sorry, +2 requires 6 smithing stones. Worded that completely wrong. So you have 10 by 2 more to make it a 12.
Took you for no matter to lay out your own.
So we can make our finger seal +2 the necessary. Gives the rotten breath more damage as it hits. Makes the fights go by a little bit faster. And then we'll definitely want a +2 bow. We're gonna be using that quite a bit. With the rest of this money, we're actually gonna head back to Caelid. Heading to Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank, near where we found the merchant in the map. We're gonna go back to this merchant. Hi. We're gonna round up our arrows to 99. So that we have 198 arrows in total. It'll just be useful to have all that. And then from this point, I think I want to go to the academy. I think our next goal is going to be to kill the red dog of Radagon. I personally prefer going for Renala before Godric, because if you, or at least killing the red dog, because you can get the Glintstone wet blade to upgrade your weapons to frost and keep their weapon arts. And we want that because our Grave Scythe will be able to have the sword stance weapon art, or Ash of War, either way. That'll be our ideal Ash of Wars, because it's a great gap closer. It's a really good tool to throw people off if you save it for finishing. Because it's just, they won't see that coming if you haven't used it the whole fight until they're near dead. Just serpentine around these guys successfully. The Burger King mages. But as I was saying, being able to upgrade your weapons to frost will make a lot of the future bossing a lot easier also. But having that before killing Godric is just a lot easier. And I personally find Renala easier than Godric, specifically because of the wolves. She gets staggered really easy, and the wolves just keep her interrupted for most of the fight. Gonna run past and skip all these enemies. Make sure you run to the left of that really big guy in front of that doorway, because he blocks the right way. Perfect timing for that platform. And this fight, it sucks. The red dog fight is pretty bad. So, did I fight? Oh, I bought fire bolts. Oops. I did not buy the right arrows from that NPC. That's totally fine. We'll get more. We'll have plenty of runes to buy all that. Skip all these NPCs. Run up this staircase because there's not a mage on this side. And we're gonna head in here. So immediately summon your dogs. Get your FP back so that you can use Scarlet Rot. You might need 2 casts. So wait until the dogs have his attention before going for it. I think right now is a good time. It looks like that was definitely the case. Wow, he's already over half dead. Ooh. Try not to block all those like I just did. I was distracted menuing with between my items. So at this point, just play very passively. Ow. If I get into their opening, I'll go for it. Well, I don't need to. He's already almost dead. So that was actually the easiest fight I've had at this guy. I mean, don't speak too soon. He's not dead yet. Okay, yeah, that was the easiest fight I've had of that enemy. So the Scarlet Rot strat is absolutely worth it in that case, because fighting him without it was dreadful. We can also use it on Renala, and before I forget, I'm going to go back and buy the correct arrows, because I'm stupid. So, before making this video and trying that strategy, killing the Red Dog of Radagon was my least favorite part of this before. So, knowing that it's that much easier now makes this run much more manageable. The breath by itself did almost half his health before Scarlet Rot even kicked in, so that was pretty cool. Oh, he doesn't have fire arrows. I swear I bought them from him before. Who did I buy them from? Was it... I think I know who it was. Okay, I'm gonna head to the Calum Ruins then. I think I remember the correct merchant. I could have swore it was that guy, but he has fire bolts, not arrows. Man, this video is really scuffed. We're getting there. We're at the almost 2-hour mark into this character, and we've gotten a lot done at least. We'll have plenty more to do. At the very least, since we're already up here, we can grab this map. Not that it's important at this point, but makes my brain happy, so we're gonna do it. Grab this Grace, just to ignore all those dogs. I just kind of spaced out and didn't talk about any of what I'm doing. But have you wrapped up around this hill from the Dragon Barrow West, avoid the dogs and make your way up here?
There's been a... How can I help?
The those aren't what I wanted, but the main thing is that it's 99 different arrows. So that was the main thing. You don't need fire arrows. You just need 2 stacks of arrows to do damage with. Fire arrows, wherever they are better though. They do more damage, but it's fine. Can't believe I fucked that part up. We're gonna head up here again before we decided to go kill Margit. Yeah, if you're watching this, ideally you get fire arrows. This is where I got them from that guy in Kalen. Oh well. So, after you use that portal to teleport here, we're gonna kill this loser. He is a little spooky, so we're gonna just rotten breath him and run. Ooh. Okay. Got him with a full breath. I think at this point we can just shoot him with arrows. Oh, doesn't even reach me. Well, poison arrows can be used for this at least. Alright, that takes care of him. That's way easier than manually fighting him like I did before. The main thing we wanted was the helmet, because this helmet gives 2 strength and 2 intelligence at the cost of your FP cap. Which is totally fine. And if you're playing with Death's Poker, you'll want this so that you can use the int on it, and if you're playing with the Grave Scythe like I am, you'll be at exactly 17 strength to use it for its minimum requirements. The Omen Killer does the same thing without the int requirement and without the FP detriment, but it also is much harder to get. Probably easy to get with the Rotten Breath tactic, honestly. But it also weighs more and doesn't have as good of a defense spread compared to the rest of the gear I plan on using, which is easily circumvented by using different gear. So you could use that instead if you aren't using the Death Poker. I might try to fit it into this build somehow. But until then, the Battlemate, yeah, the Glintstone Crown is perfectly fine. And we wanted to pick up this Navy Hood because it is more FP for Rotten Breath. That's it. See, from here, we're actually going to go back to the highway junction. And from where the gold seed was, we're just going to keep heading west. Ignore these big fellas. I believe it's up this hill. Yeah. Drop down into this area where this church is. Ignore that big scary guy. We're just gonna grab the sacred tear and bounce. Following the north end of this graveyard is air vent. Also just a safe place to land. Get down. We're going all of this way to go north. Up towards this castle down here. We're not going to go in the castle. We're going to follow the west side of the castle to kill the NPC who has our Antspur Rapier. If you do not need the Antspur Rapier, then wait at the air vent and skip ahead to when I am done killing this NPC. Gonna ignore these guys. And there's the NPC we need to kill. Probably charge that up a lot sooner. He's really fucking annoying. And it looks like she's just gonna eventually die. Really wish that giant wouldn't. Oh, he just get everything when she dies. Cool. Alright, we got our one Antspur Rapier. We'll have to drop trade for the other one on a different character. Then from here, yeah, we're just gonna keep going from here. So, back towards that vent we jumped down from to get into this canyon in the first place. We're gonna head south. Gonna re-equip a Morning Star. Ideally, I wish I could have ignored that guy. Ooh. That's where you get the Bloodblade, if you're playing the Scimitar version of this build instead of Antspur Rapiers. It's on that scarab in that little pond. So be careful of those crabs and that asshole on the horse. Gonna head up here now from that pond to grab another gold seed and this Site of Grace. Around up here, the Erdtree Gazing Hill. And this is gonna be a really big detour. This is just where another gold seed is. If your version of a low-level build uses the Poly crossbow, I believe it's called. It's the one that, like a burst fire crossbow. That's also this way. So is a Crystal Ager, that one Death Beam sorcery that has like a huge int requirement. We're just gonna be ignoring this guy like everything else we've run past. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else of noteworthy up here either. That scarab is just another bow art that we don't need. And that's where the other gold seed is. I think from here we can leave. We're actually going to head back to the debate parlor from here, and we're going to pick up our glintstone wet blade. That'll let us put frost onto our bleed weapon of choice. And I think on this, just for this character, I'm going to stick with the Morningstar just so you don't have to see me farm for all the weapons, because it's going to take way too long. I don't need to farm it to finish this character for the sake of the guide. And I don't feel like editing it out. So there's the wet blade. It'll give you a lot more damage. Ow. And assuming you have your Grave Scythe ready by now, or if you are about to get it, we're going to head... I think the fastest would be here, the Crystalline Woods. This is the grace we picked up after getting the Glintstone, or the key to enter Ryukari Academy near the dragon. We're going to head west from here. A bit southwest, actually. We're gonna head up to grab this Ravager Shack, Fight of Grace. Grab that, and then we're going to head south again. Around all these big rocks. Towards the cliff face. Or just the cliff. I guess this is also a cliff face. And we're going to get this scarab. Make sure you wrap around its right side to get it stuck on this wall. If it moves at all. There we go. And that's where Swords Dance is. That's what you would put on your Grave Scythe. Broken. A really good weapon art. Thankfully easy to pick up too. And then I'm going to apply those now on my Morningstar. I don't think I can put Swords Dance on my Morningstar. Might have to go pick up a random art from the War Master Shack. But if you follow the guide and use Grave Scythe, then you just put on Swords Dance. Ashes of War, yeah, I don't have any. So I have to go by the shack real quick. I don't even know if I want any of them. Quick step, old. Now it has 69 frost buildup and 45 bleed buildup. I believe on the on the Grave Scythe, it'll become 83 frost buildup and 50 bleed buildup. Super good. And from here, I think I'm gonna go take on Renala. We can get that out of the way. And for this fight, I think for the first phase, I'm gonna want the Green Turtle Talisman, and then I'll swap back to the Faith Talisman for the second phase, so I can actually use Rotten Breath. Because the first phase is kind of just a DPS race, so you'll want stamina to keep swinging as much as possible so that you can inflict your debuffs as often as possible. Then just stick to the right side for the boulder. You first climb up to avoid it. And then for this guy, the strategy is to just completely ignore him. I'm going to two-hand my shield, activate the elevator, and then go back to like the front of it, and then just block to make sure he doesn't get on. Which didn't happen. But he fell off anyway. But then actually, if you stay around the middle, he might just fall off and die. I'm gonna send it back down in case I die in this fight. So also, don't summon the wolves in this first phase because they'll just kill all the children and you'll waste your wolves' health. You'll want to save them for the second phase. So, make sure you don't kill the kids, just hit them once. Because you want to keep as many alive for targets that stay in the middle for this gold aura thing. Then I'm going to try two-handing for this first phase. Just swing on her. Oh. Got lucky, didn't get hit there. Though it might take 3 cycles with my damage. With the Grave Scythe, it should take 2, but it's kind of close. Where is he? Oh wait, that was all of them. I'm dumb. Wow, I didn't realize I already hit 3. I was not counting. I was super spaced out. I was wondering where the third kid was, and she was already on the ground. There we go. Okay, well, 4 cycles if you're stupid. Crazy how that works. Where is this kid? There they are. He's singing so quietly compared to all the other ones. There we go. Ow. So now she should be dead. Even if it does take 4 cycles, I only had to heal once. So. Get the cutscenes. Then don't be too worried about switching to the talisman right away, because you gotta worry about dodging that and summoning your wolves. She's already doing this attack. Oh god. It's at the wolves. Alright. Get her. So she is Scarlet Rotted. I'm going to switch to the bow. Ignore that guy. That guy is really scary. In fact, I would highly suggest topping off your health. Try to stay at full health. Poison arrows, because she can still get poisoned on top of Scarlet Rot. No, the dog. And she's dead. Be very careful of her summons even after she's dead, though. Because I've seen people die to them after they kill Renala. So that was Renala, so that's why I think that fight's super easy. You can just cheese her with Scarlet Rot and Poison Arrows. Dogs are really helpful too. And now, whenever we need to, we can switch out of our arcane FP setup. And now we could probably go straight for Godric. Just a lot of running around mainly. Right, we're just gonna ignore that weirdo. Actually, no, we're not. We need to kill you. We'll lock you in that room with the knight if you don't kill him, so tough luck. 5 R1s is a stagger, so not that he's hard to begin with, but even easier. If you care, you can have him open the main gate first, but not a big deal. We're not going to get any great runes on this character because they can't apply while you're invading. But if you plan on using a level 5 host to gank invaders, then you should get it because you can use great runes in your own world. And having Godric's rune on a level 5 host would be pretty busted. Ignoring all these guys. I don't know how that backstabbed, but I'll take it. I put the lantern on for this dark room. The banished knight is gonna be pissed off. Wait for his dash to approach you before rolling, because it's a bait. I love how many feints there are in this game. He'll follow you up, but we can just keep going, doesn't matter. Keep to the right so we can avoid that guy. Keep going. Grab this grace. We're gonna head out here, and I believe, yeah, you just run towards these broken tiles. Jump off. You should clear the jump, no problem. Then we're gonna head down here. Keep running. A lot of running around here. There's another Lost Grace. Switch back to the Faith Heirloom, or the Faith Talisman before I forget. I don't think this is important. I was completely... Actually, no, that's okay. Pick those up. Ignore these. Oh, try to ignore these birds. They're the worst enemy in the game, in my opinion. God, they suck. Another gold seed over here. Oh, come on. Okay. And now it is time for Dodrick. But first things first, summon the wolves. Drink a cerulean flask. Wait until he's distracted, until you rotten breath him. Alright, now he should be thoroughly distracted. And that is Scarlet Rot. I'll switch back to the Stamina Talisman now and go to the Longbow. Maybe be a little bit more careful than I am. And I'm gonna attempt to poison him. I did not know the wind deflected projectiles. That is a first. Probably should have backed up first. Wolves. My man's is right there. I think he's poisoned already. Yeah, he is. I can switch to normal arrows. There we go. Yeah, Rotten Breath and Poison Arrows make that very easy. Switch back to this. Switch back to this. Maybe get rid of a bunch of these weapons from your inventory ahead of time so you're not as cluttered. And there we go. We have 2 greater runes, so we can get our 3rd talisman slot, so we don't have to keep talisman swapping. Let's see. Equip that. We might need that soonish. And as I said, I'm just gonna. There we go. Head back to the round table to pick up your 3rd talisman.
Only fine. You have now to become the thing as much become.
Cool. Now we can have all these on. And now we can go. Up. Head to the Crystalline Woods. We're just going to be running directly north from there. Probably my new least favorite boss in this run now is going to be Loretta. Because it's just her ghost, and I'm pretty sure you cannot Scarlet Rot the ghost, you cannot bleed the ghost. I don't know if you can frost it. You might be able to use frost on it. Can't be bled, can't be rotted, can't be poisoned. Also, I just learned there's a Grave Scythe with more consumable runes on the way. That's cool. A bunch of these annoying enemies are here though. And we're not really starved for runes, so not unnecessary. We have a lot of consumable runes, and we have the god souls, or the boss souls too, rather. But yeah, this boss is a little annoying because you have to just a lot of fizz damage. That's all you can really do. It might honestly be worth putting standard back on our mace instead of frost, just for more damage. But I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't like waiting for the door to open, so I'm just gonna go around. Hi, EG. Bye, EG. Then we're headed up to the manor. And the reason we're going up here is because the merchant who sells the Carian Retaliation Ash of War is up here. Ow. Cool. Oh right, we can't use that in here. I wish. More runes. That was a little spooky. Sneaking and unsneaking is a good way of getting your stamina back while keeping most of your movement. Pick up this Site of Grace. Ooh. That was a little spooky. Okay. I think we have a lot of gold seeds we're just sitting on. F6. We can upgrade our flask more, which we'll do now. Only had enough for the one. So we're at 11 flasks in total. And I know where the last two are we need for 12 flasks. One is right here, and the last one is up by Volcano Manor. So that will be our 12th flask, and we will not need to worry about golden seeds anymore. I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to get up here. Yeah, there's a ladder over here. Avoid a lot of these annoying enemies. Hi. But honestly, these pages are a lot worse than most of the stuff here. I don't think they can follow you in. They cannot. Okay, thank goodness. So, there's Loretta. Gonna hide behind one of these chairs before summoning the dogs. Looks like she's just gonna keep summoning swords. That's cool. Even though it won't inflict her with Scarlet Rot, I'm gonna do it anyway just because it's really good range damage. It looks like she is just on me. Or the wolves, can't really tell. Yeah, she's just on me. That's really nice. Wish you weren't. Oh, she can just ignore the chairs. Alright, that makes sense. You are a very big horse swordsman with a... that. Man, I wish that worked. Yeah, really careful with this part. Make sure you stay topped off. And there you go. The wolves did a lot of work. I didn't really do a lot that first fight, or the first part of that fight. I don't think using the Scarlet Rot was worth it. But there you go. That's probably the worst part of this playthrough done. There is one more really annoying boss in mind, but I think we can just Scarlet Rot and poison him, and then that'll be the end of that, so how hard is that really? So after you beat Loretta, you go up into like Ronnie's area, and then you just follow the west cliff and you go down to this spot. Then you fall down here, fall down here, and you fall down, you just keep going down. All the way. And then here's the guy.
Oh, you? Why not? A little.
And here is Retaliation. And another larval tier, if you needed another one. More stuff just to throw runes at, because we have a lot right now. Let's see. Oh, there's the Grace. I think next I will... Yeah, I think the easiest way up there is from here. Yeah, we're gonna head back to the highway junction and just go north. North. We're gonna go by this church again. We're just gonna drop down. towards this graveyard. And then I think... No, you don't have to, but... Go. We're headed up to this air vent. Jump up here towards this bridge. Just gonna keep heading into this place. Probably keep to the towards the cliff face so you can avoid the Iron Maidens. Ignore that loser. And then ignore those Iron Maidens, head straight for this ladder, and go right up. And we didn't even get their attention this time. Then from here, we're gonna go up the hill to the west. Ignore that rune item on the ground. That's sorry, not a rune. That's that item. And pick up this rune, and keep going. Ignore that loser and head up the ladder. We're gonna head to the left here and take this ladder. And here's a merchant that has all the Confessor gear. Really good armor. And let's see, you have bolts. Okay. Then we're just gonna head directly past these guys, jump down, and cross the bridge. Then we're going to jump up here. Ignore that Falling Star Beast because they're terrifying. And then we're gonna head right to the manor. Ignore these enemies. Nothing new. Grab this grace. Talk to Mrs. Lady.
So about the book, if you have rise with now you but the drawing room I am 10.
Then all we need is the key. Head to the second door on the left in this hallway. And grab both of these items. Recusant Finger is our infinite invade item, so that's our primary reason for being up here. The Letter from the Volcano Manor is our way of getting the scaled armor, which is going to be my preferred armor on this build. Another reason to come in here. We also needed the Confessor armor because I like the chest piece. And then our last gold seed is up here. And the map for this northwestern region. Not that that's super important or anything, but it's there. I don't think that scarab's anything useful. And there's our final gold seed. We have 12 flasks now. So later when we reallocate all of our flasks into just Crimson, we'll have 12 flasks, which will give you 6 flasks when you go in invading. Then our ideal mixed physic is going to be half health and regen, which is effectively a full heal anyway at that level. So we'll have basically 7 flasks and a really big HP regen buff that lasts for a long time. Oops. There we go. Add charge. There we go. 12 flasks in total. Let's see. I guess from here we could go and attempt Godfrey, but first we have to get in. Okay. And before I forget, like I did last time I did this, we are going to need reallocate most of our flasks to magic. Give us 2 heals just in case. We're not going to use all these, but it's just in case. I don't think this is anything we need. Why not? In the meantime, on our way there, we're just wrapping around, following this road up until we get to right up here. So in between then and now, I'm going to find where you buy fire arrows, because they're going to make killing Godfrey a little bit easier. Avoid the giants. So ideally, I don't even know what that item is, and not worth checking on this guy right now. Just stay along the cliff, you'll be fine. You'll probably want to... I don't know if it's necessary or not. You might want to do quit and reload to de-aggro them. I don't think you need to though. Make sure you have Poison Mist on before you come here. Should have mentioned that. I'm just gonna sneak around this guy from the very far side. And get a little bit closer to him. I think right around here is perfect. A little bit by these flowers. And I think from here, you just poison him with Poison Mist. And because Poison Mist doesn't hit, it won't get aggro. He has a lot of health. He's really aggressive. He has a lot of really annoying ranged lightning moves that can just instantly kill you, so that's why we can't just use Rotten Breath and run. I mean, we probably could Rotten Breath him and just run really far away, but I don't think Rotten Breath alone will kill him, and it'll just make the fight a bit more annoying. So instead, you can just hide behind him and Poison Mist him. After the first cast, he builds like a gradual resistance to it. That's why we needed all the flasks, so we can just keep casting a lot. I think we have just enough FP for 4 casts with the Navy Hood and 1 level into Mind. Otherwise, I think you'll only have 3 casts no matter what, which is fine. It's more than enough still with all these flasks. Yeah, this takes a while. This is not a quick thing. So I'm probably going to end up editing most of this out. I'll probably just skip to the end of this. Oh, whoops. Just remembered to unmute. Good thing I did. But, managed to get 2 phone calls in the time it took to kill that guy with Poison Mist. It was around half an hour, roughly, so that part was really time-consuming. Let's see, though. Turns out I was sort of correct. The merchant I was looking for to buy fire arrows from is in Caelid, but he's like on the western side. And reallocate our flasks now. Where am I? I think we want to keep on this side of the road. Oh, this guy, is it? These graces are like right next to each other. There's one like right down the hill from here too. Yep, what's up, dude? Oh, he does have the fire arrows. Well, there we go. Another thing we need to do, I do already have that grace. We do have to head into the swamp. Ignore that little guy. Here it is. And there is a grace on this west side. I don't think I need it right now. I think I'm just gonna run in and poison him. Can I leave after I do that? No! New strategy. Are you serious? Grab this side of grace. So, this is becoming more challenging than I expected it to. I'm gonna see if you can sneak up on this guy and just use Poison Mist. If so, that'll be a really easy way to cheese him. I know you can be poisoned. Looks like you can. So that's going to be the strategy for this guy. This will probably take a lot less time than the tree sentinel, but this lets you avoid all of the summons he spawns. Because I tried shooting him on the branch way up there, but all the crossbowmen he summons will just shoot you down. So, a no-go. But you can just poison him, so do the same strategy you did for Tree Sentinel on this guy. Easy. So, I think he's about to die to poison finally. And it seems like this guy takes just as long to kill as the Tree Sentinel does with poison. But definitely worth it. And I forgot to mention, the reason why we're even doing this in the first place we need the talisman that gives 5 dexterity for our Antspur Rapiers. And if you're playing the Scimitar build and you do not need them, then don't worry about them. Just save yourself an hour, not an hour. You can save yourself roughly 30 minutes of your time not having to kill him with Poison Mist. But Antspur Rapiers need 20 dexterity, Radagon's Sword Seal, and this other talisman we're going to get will get us to exactly 20 dexterity. Ignore these guys. We have to go up this way to go help Millicent. I'm going the wrong way. Also, if you missed a gold seed somewhere and you don't know where, there's a backup one right here. And if I remember correctly, this should be the one we have to open. We don't need to do all of them. Or no, we might have to do all of them for the quest. I lied. Not a big deal anyway. Well, I think that one is the one that opens the road to Millicent. And I think that item is just a stone sword key. We do not need that. But my brain is telling me to get it because key item. Brain is now happy. Let's continue. Ignore that scarab. We're gonna head towards this tree branch. Climb up here. And open this up. And that's all 3 of those. We're gonna head back up these stairs. And we're going to grab this Site of Grace. And then we're gonna head uphill. Careful of those giant rolling boulders. We're gonna go up this hill a bit just to get to the church safely, to avoid those, I don't even know what you call these giant bug people with halberds. They're pretty dangerous either way. There's Millicent. We can't help her yet. We have to go talk to a different NPC first. So, head here. Here being Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank. And then we're gonna go east. This is the closest grace we have to get to this old dude. Fortunately, because it's still a little bit of a trek each time. And we're gonna be running here a lot. stick along the cliff face so we can avoid this dog.
I'd hoped to strap it. Don't fret. Should you I will teach. I need your name resting. Oh, as go on. Now let. Well, the work of it. Can you give us well, mate? Caswell, mate.
Then just exhaust his dialogue and then quit.
I have the need. Will you give it? I will reward. Millicent tended to a wretched.
And now we can go talk to Millicent. Hi.
Well, my flesh, it is a cut. You are to quell, but never mind. I would rather. Would you mind?
Skip the cutscene. He's out. Now we can go all the way back down and talk to that guy again.
Thank for giving. Understand? You've been as thank at the last.
And then you get these sorceries unlocked. We're not using any of those.
Please, like her, but come on.
I'll have aggro on something. There you go. And then we have to talk to Millicent. I believe this is the last time we have to talk to her.
My apology. Everything, even the nightmare. Not that I could.
And then we're done talking to her. That's what we needed for our 5 dexterity for the Antspur Rapiers. But for now, we will be detouring back to the Third Church of America in Eastern Limgrave. We're going to head south from here and just follow the road. Now we're going to be headed towards the Siofra River underground, because we have to go that way to head back up into Caelid to grab our Great Jar's Arsenal Talisman. This is going to be one of the harder parts of the game for this playthrough, because we have to kill 3 of the Great Jar's soldiers, and they're a pain in the ass, which is why you want to go in offline mode. This is the only reason you need to go in offline mode, if you're doing this by yourself. I'm pretty sure you can bring summons for this. I haven't tried. I've just killed them myself. They're really hard to kill normally, so there's a way you can cheese them with the cliff. One thing I might try, since we can, I think on these characters we actually are capable of just inflicting each knight with Scarlet Rot and then running away. There's not a lot of room to run, but you can run. I don't think you can use the horse, but if you can use the horse, then do that. I'll find out. The way you would normally cheese them is that there's a little branch you can hide on the bridge. You have to like lure them to like downhill and then run to the branch, and then they should fall off trying to kill you. Assuming they don't have any ranged options, they opt for instead. But most of the time they'll still kill you through your shield, or they'll just knock you off the branch, kill you that way, because this branch is not very big. It's a big hassle to cheese them that way, but I've done it before, so it's very possible. It's just a huge patience test, and it sucks. Mostly because it takes a while to get back to there from the closest grace, and you have to like quit and reload each time because of the 2 giant archers that are outside of the jar, the jar's fighting area, and they'll just keep shooting arrows at you the whole time unless you get rid of their aggro by quitting, because they have enormous aggro range. But we're not there quite yet, we almost are. But I haven't tried Scarlet Rotting them, but if this does work out really well, then I will be really glad I opted for the Rotten Breath method of run. Oh, don't miss this grace. We might need this. Who knows? We're gonna head towards this portal. Thankfully, it seems like there's iframes when you use these. I wasn't sure about that. And then we're just gonna head north from here. We're gonna try to stick to the east side after we avoid those two glowy dudes. Then now we'll try to stick to this side. The archers here are really scary. They will fuck you up. Yeah, like so. We picked up those stone sword keys earlier because we need them for this door. But we should have, I think we might have just picked up plenty. There's also a lot you can buy. You still have 6, yeah. We've picked up a lot and you can buy plenty if you need more, so you definitely have more than 2 by this point. There's also a 3rd larval tier you can buy from the merchant down in that river. So if you need a 3rd one, I think we have 2 right now. And here we go. I'm gonna reallocate my flasks a little bit because I think we only need 3 flasks for this part. And by all those idiots. Run past this idiot. And then we should have enough time to run around to this route for this dude. Go. Then we can just run up the hill. And then when we get up here, we'll have to quit and reload to get rid of the knight's aggro, or the golem. Really tall people. And I'm in online mode right now, because my internet managed to fix itself by the time I got to this point in the game, surprisingly. And I'm just gonna see how it goes without going in offline mode. Probably not well, but we'll see. Won't be surprised if all 3 of the people I get are using Moonveil. Alright, and here are all the bloodstains, and here are the people. Let's see, this guy has a Flamberge, and a really high level Instaff, that's scary. This guy has the Wild Twin Blade, and also looks like a catalyst of some kind. And this guy has double Reduvia. Oh boy, yeah, this will be really fun. Yeah, it looks like as soon as you summon them, the horse gets deactivated. So, see how this goes. As soon as they summon, we're just gonna Rotten Breath and flee. Ooh, a little early. Really early. Okay, this is already starting off really bad because I messed up. I need you to not sprint at me. Yeah, do that. Then I can play this game. Maybe. He had to have daggers. And he had to have Reduvia daggers too. So this guy's like always gonna be scary. He has a lot of health too. Oh, and I got bled. I forgot that's gonna be a thing too with this guy. Great. Well, let's try this. We're already... He really jumped onto the branch where I'm at. I'm a little scared because he can still use his ranged attack on me. I do not want to read either of these right now. I want to switch weapons. God, this game. Play in offline mode. Okay. So, we're gonna just do an offline mode. Did I just see someone's spirit? I don't have internet right now. I don't know how I'm seeing that. But either way, none of these are casters. I think I've seen some of these before on my other characters that I did this on. So wait until they fully rise from the red spot to Rotten Breath them. Like right now would probably be good. Yeah, there we go. You don't have time to dodge. That is scary though. I don't even know if the Rotten Breath is gonna matter. They take way too long to die. I feel like this is just the superior method. Yep, there he goes. So you want to lure them downhill, jump on the branch. Try not to lock on because I've fallen off a lot because my character locks on and does a bunch of weird movement by themselves because the branch is so small. But yeah, lure them downhill. Pray to dog that they fall down. Pray to the church dog. You hand your shield, you get more stability that way, or guard boost. Ooh god, that was really close. I barely blocked and adjusted my positioning in time for that hit. That's 2. Yes, definitely go offline. Everyone has projectiles online. I think this guy even has casts. Oh no. And he's smart. You can block all that just barely, thankfully. But it's still scary. No! You loser! Thank you. Okay, so that was one of the worst parts of the game, honestly. For this character. Other than waiting around for 2 bosses to die for half an hour. And maybe Loretta, just because that you can't cheese that fight at all. Other than wolves. Then you talk to the jar, you get your Great Jar's arsenal. Cool. Now what we need to do is go back to the Table of Lost Grace. We need to buy an item from a bell we picked up earlier I forgot about. Let's see. We want I want 6 of those. He actually gave you the bell. Gestocks bell. We want the buckler. We got buckler. We don't need this right now, we just need heavier armor. And we'll take this off and this off for now. Actually, we might want this. We can cheese this part with some rotten breath, actually. So we're headed up to this little red flag in Stormvale. This is where we're gonna get our scaled armor from. This is the heaviest armor that I'm gonna pick up. You could have killed this guy at the Warmaster Shack way earlier before you go to the Volcano Manor to get his armor if you really wanted it. But it's like really heavy for what this build's doing. So on a level 5, that's a tall order to equip that gear, unless you're using a lot of really light gear in conjunction with like a piece of it. So we're just heading north from the Warmaster Shack race. There will be a red invader sign on the ground that we will use to invade this NPC's world. Right here. And then I'm going to wait around for a little bit, so in case we die, we'll get put back right here. Instead of like where we just were. It takes a few seconds to like settle, whatever it means. Alright, so I think right away he's going to come running right at us, so we have more than enough time to do this. Okay, so he's Rotten Breath now. So the idea here is to just run away from him until he starts sprinting at you like this. And then parry his running attacks. They're the easiest attacks to like see like the build up for and see coming. He'll do running heavies and running light attacks. Just run away just run away until he starts running at you like that, and then buckler parry him. Rotting Breath will help a lot with this. And the Rotten Breath has helped a ton. He has 1 heal. Can't believe we didn't use the Rotten Breath strategy before. But he's running now. Parry. See, this part I could see being a lot more difficult for some people. I'm really comfortable with parrying, so I don't have an issue with this. Running again. Ooh, that was a little greedy on my part. Either way, he's dead now. There we go. Now we have his armor. Well, it'll give it to us as soon as we exit this part. There we go. Now I can wear stuff like Confessor armor with the scaled gloves and boots, and we still have a medium roll. You will have a medium roll with all this gear, even with your 2 Scimitars or Antspur Rapiers here that equal up to 6 weight together. Your Beast Crest shield that takes up 3.5, and then whatever weapon of choice you have here for your big weapon. Grave Scythe, Death's Poker, whatever you're interested in. Yeah, you should, with the Haima Glintstone crown and all your weapons and all 4 talismans, you should have enough weight to be able to medium roll still, like just enough. But anyway, I think that is almost everything from what I can remember. I think all we gotta do now is head to the capital now and kill Godfrey, who cannot be scarlet rotted or poisoned as far as I remember. But I think all you need is a full stack of flame arrows and maybe some normal arrows, and a +2 longbow. You have more than enough arrows for this fight though. Pretty sure he does fizz damage, if I remember correctly. So I'm just gonna wear. I really get put at heavy with everything. Oh yeah. Might be because I don't have this on. There we go. So you'll probably want something like this as a setup, just so you don't get killed. I put this on for now. I can't. I think with this type of gear, you'll be able to survive one hit from Godfrey, which is going to be enough to let you not die from your mistakes while you learn his while you get familiar with his moveset. It's really easy to adjust to, but I mean, like, there's always like the small like learning part when you revisit any boss you haven't done in a while or ever. But I think for the most part through this section, I'm just going to be two-handing the shield. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think anything here is going to hit hard enough to deplete that much stamina. I might want to hit something to move it out of the way, I'm not sure. And there's also a second backup gold seed here in case you still need another one. It's not coming up soon, I'll let you know, but if you do need another gold seed, there is one. We're just going to be running past and ignoring all these guys. Doing the sneak unsneak to get our stamina back. We're going to jump down from here, and then jump down from here. And we're just going to keep going. And then we're going to jump down from here. Ignore that guy. Hopefully you don't get hit by him. I think I got really close. Ignore this item. We're gonna go this way. Quickly sneak past this guy. We're gonna get the shortcut up here. There we go. Head back down. Go down this elevator. You don't really need it. You kind of just need to get out of your way mostly. That fall is so short. Take a right here. Run to the left of this guy. Don't really need that. Ignore the knight in that room. And then we have another Grace in here. Oh, Mrs. Lady.
For bringing here, and thus I shall to farewell. I shall leave. I wish you luck. You have. I have no.
Gonna run to the sewers. I think if we hit this guy a few times, it'll stun him. Yeah. Just jump over his leg after you stagger him. I don't know if that's necessary, but that's just what I've done every time. Then stay on the far right part of this wing here. so you don't get that guy's the archer's aggro too soon. He'll mess you up. Or get his aggro at all. That works too. Gonna ignore this guy. Grab this grace. Just gonna run past this gargoyle. Sneak past him. That's where the other gold seed is I mentioned earlier. If you needed an extra gold seed, it's right there in front of the gargoyle. You might die picking it up, but oh well. And then we're gonna run past all these guys sitting down. Ignore all of them. And then just run inside the boss room. And here is Godfrey. Don't let that happen. Start shooting arrows. Only shoot one at a time. You'll have like 2 different attacks he throws at you. There's the axe throw. You just roll through both of them and then run past him. If he does one of them from really far away, you might need to be a bit more careful about running past him, like in that scenario. I wish he would do it right now. Here we go. Just keep shooting with arrows. That was greedy. Okay, we're fine. That jump was really bad. I misclicked that. Oh, that was bad. Oh man. I was a little careless there. Oh, the normal arrows are doing more damage. Yeah, normal arrows are more damage. We're doing 10 more damage a shot than we were with fire arrows without the prosthetic talisman on, so... Alright, attempt number 3. I should have died? There we go, yeah. Alright, attempt number 4. There we go. 4th attempt. I was a little greedy with all of it, to be honest. I could have been a lot more patient with firing my arrows after he was his openings appeared. But yeah, it took exactly 90 arrows. I think 1 or 2 of them missed. So the fire arrows are just back up in case we run out of normal arrows. We have our last talisman slot. This is the setup you'll have before you have the 4th one to fight him with the bow. The dex is just for more damage, so you can kill him faster. We have exactly 20 dex, which you'd want for Antspurs. If you're running Scimitars, you would not use the Dexterity Talisman, you'd run something else. I think the Winged Sword Talisman would be good. You can find that in a dungeon around here, I believe. Like you take the Lakeshore Grace and you just follow along this area, you'll find the cave. The boss there drops the Winged Sword Talisman. It's real easy to kill. Just like a clean Rot Knight. The dogs could probably solo it. And yeah. Other than that, we can get our last, or no, sorry. We would allocate our flasks all to health. Take this off. I like to order it this way because you'll end up using your Wondrous Physic first before going to your normal flasks. Your throwing knives would be here. You buy like just a full stack of throwing knives from Kale in Limgrave. You would not be using your horse anymore just so you don't have as much clutter down here in your quick bar. You don't need any of this anymore. Oh, also, before I forget, we need to go and respec. We could have done this earlier, probably. Not there. Oh, I never got the Grace.
Where did he flee? Is it thy to become now?
There we go. 2 and 2, and that's it. I guess Balled Up is also a very BM emote if you want to do that. There we go. So this character has the same gear I mentioned before. All the talismans included. We got our wondrous flask of wondrous physic. Well, that's something I forgot actually. You need to get the regen tier throwing daggers, or 12 plus 7 flasks. Double cold Antspurs with Bloodhound Step. I showed you how to get Bloodhound Step earlier. Beast Crest Heater Shield plus 2. I showed you where to buy Carian Retaliation to put onto this so you can have the spell parry. It's really good. And then we got the Cold Grave Scythe. Showed you where to farm this from. Has 83 frost, 50 83 frost build up, 50 blood build up. And this is Swords Dance. Very good. Even without FP, it still has this much gap closing capability. So it's pretty good, and even when you don't have any FP left. The helmet's mandatory for the strength increase. And yeah, you're not using Antspurs, you're using Scimitars instead. Then you can drop the Prosthesis Wearer Heirloom for that Winged Sword Scarab, or you could just use one of these to fuck with the host. So the Agil, Lake North, Church of Ella, where we're at right now. The Mistwood Outskirts are all the 3 places I normally invade at. It would be really funny. You can invade in like the catacombs that are nearby, like Stormfoot. There's the one up here where people want to get Uchigatana. There's one down here, all the way up in this part of the Northern River. I believe it's down there, or it's like up here, I think. Another catacombs around there you can go to. And then there is the one where I showed you where you can get the Scimitars from, where we got our Grave Ward 1 and 2 for the wolves. There's this mine here. This mine is there's a lot of people who are usually co-oping in this mine in Limgrave tunnels. It's another good spot you can invade at. I guess the last thing I need to show you is where you get those the mixed physic that gives you life regen. That one's really important. And I would not recommend using the damage negation talismans, because that might seem like a good idea in hindsight, but they're heavily nerfed in PvP interactions. So, not worth using in my opinion. I think we gotta kill this guy. So you aren't annoying during this boss fight. This boss fight is really easy though, so no worries. It's the first avatar. Well, probably don't just run into it right away like that. You can roll through most of its attacks. Even that one. It can be frosted, cannot be bled, and I don't think it can be scarlet rotted, so frost is really great on this boss. When it does this attack, you want to get away and just sprint to avoid the laser beams. There we go. That missed. I'm like as close to it as I can get. But the mace just has like a really short swing for some reason. There we go. The boss is really easy. Especially if you have a frost weapon. Not even necessary, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think I've forgotten anything. That should have been all of it. And there we go.
Always.
Just buy out all the knives. And I know this guy didn't get the weapons I was talking about, but like that would just be farming I would need to edit out, and it doesn't really change anything in the guide itself. We don't really use them very often. In fact, I used a worse version of the weapons I suggested and got through everything just fine anyway. Oh yeah, to duplicate your weapon arts for the Scimitars or your Antspur Rapiers, because you'll need to duplicate either Bloodhound Step for the Rapiers or Bloodblade for the Scimitars. I think that's what that art was called. Yeah, Bloodblade.
But unusually this
Right here is the Lost Ashes of War you can use to duplicate them in Weeping Peninsula. And then if for some reason you need more, you can buy 3 more from the merchant way up here in Northern Caelid. He has 3 of them for sale for 5,000 each, I'm pretty sure. And that should be everything though. We went quite a ways. See, this character is 4.5 hours old. A lot of this could have been routed better, and I died a lot to Godfrey. It took 4 attempts. And what else? About an hour of this was wasted on just waiting for 2 bosses to die to poison. So, yeah. So that's just the video then. If you're watching, thank you for watching all of this. Have fun with your level 5 Invader. This sort of build won't last forever though, because as the game lives on, more and more people will become familiar with the game, won't need help early on. A lot of the hype of Elden Ring being like one of the best RPGs of all time is going to die down eventually. So, and not like anytime soon, but in like probably like 5-ish months from now, this build will not be playable, more than likely, just because there won't be people to invade. Everyone's doing mid or high level PvP, which is fine. I am personally looking forward to doing mid-level PvP when a lot more information is streamlined. It's because for like upgrade tiers, not a lot of people know the exact caps for like matchmaking when it comes to weapon tier upgrades. And I guess it's a little late to mention it now, but I think I mentioned it earlier. Somber weapons you use on this build, you only want to upgrade it once to +1. And then for normal weapons upgrade with normal smithing stones, only upgrade to +2. You probably saw that with most of my gear anyway. But yeah. Thank you for watching.